congratulations. I'm still laughing. This is so boldly funny, and it reminds me and so much of those great English comedies like the Carry On comedies and things. It's just so much fun to watch. Where did you guys as writers get the idea for that? I'll start with Tom Palmer. Where did you get the idea?
Well, I mean, awkwardly, the idea came from Tom, but I'll tell his story for him. He was at a wedding. He was a bit tired and got a bit paranoid that the best man was going to make a speech about how Tom had been invited to the wedding as a joke, and everyone would turn around and laugh at him. And I just remember Tom telling me the story, and that sounding really, really genuinely quite a frightening idea. But also pretty funny because, can you think of anything more narcissistic than making the whole wedding about yourself in your own personal narrative? So we just felt like there was something in those two juxtaposing ideas that was just fertile ground for a story where we would just chase this feeling of oh my God, all my friends hate me. It's all a conspiracy against me, which I think, if we're honest, we all have quite frequently, but we just rarely sort of talk about.
Some of the worst enemies you can have are your best friends.
Right. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
You're looking at one.
Yeah. Tom keeps selling me out with that story. I keep having to tell a story in which I'm a complete psychopath in it, and it's but no, I think that's true. I think it's like it's kind of creepy when we all operate under this presumption that we know each other and on enough, and that it felt really interesting to kind of play with the idea that you suddenly someone questions that, and particularly this kind of idea of meeting people that you were friends with at a different time in your life and times past. You find yourself asking those questions like, what is it that we're friends about? So yeah, that felt like an interesting area to draw on.
I was just going to say, especially college friends as well. It feels like that's a place where such intense bonds are formed very, very quickly, and then suddenly you graduate and life happens very, very fast, and then you get to your early 30s and you do have to sort of wonder what it was that brought you together in the first place.
College for me was like just a bunch of serial killers getting together for 4 years or 5 years and then disbanding. So I have to say, Georgina Campbell is a national treasure. She's an international treasure. I just spoke with her for her new series, Suspicion. But boy, does she do comedy well.
Yeah. Well, she's so good. What we really wanted was actors that could play the gags kind of, as high stakes as possible. And she's got that incredible sort of speech on the stairs where she sort of just cuts me down. And it was just very easy to feel crushed by her regularly. She's kind of just very good at delivering those lines in a like high drama way, and then hopefully sort of that was a kind of rule for a lot of the delivery is keep the stakes high, and then it's kind of all the more funny, hopefully.
One of the great characters in this is this house that that you guys are all in. Where did you find that? And my gosh, what a beautiful place to shoot in.
Yeah, I mean, that was a total game changer. The guy whose house it is a friend of ours and was actually at Tom's university. And when we managed to persuade the poor guy to let 30 crew members into his house for 21 days, it just transformed the whole project because firstly it adds so much spectacle and drama, and secondly it just I always feel like it is this sort of other character in the movie. It's sometimes it's like mocking Pete, sometimes it's scaring him. He feels so uncomfortable in it because it's a reminder of his class and his privilege, but equally I guess he feels quite at home in it. And it was just it really made the film what it was, both the filming of it and then obviously what you see on the screen.
When you're working with this caliber of actor, it must buoy your performance up quite a bit because again, you were so appropriately unhinged, I want to say.
Totally. I was, and I was I loved and got on really well with the actors as well, and I think that was an important thing. I mean, there was a kind of atmosphere of opposite to the film. Really, they were all lovely and weren't complaining about the sort of terrible conditions that Tom and I were putting them through. And so there was just a nice atmosphere where you could try things. And yeah, it was great to work with such good actors and genuinely sort of learn from them and creepily watch them without them knowing, and sort of try and pick up on, get some tips.
Are you both going to be working together again? Hopefully maybe a mini series or something coming out?
I mean,
the cast, or me and Tom?
You and Tom.
Yeah, we're we've got 10 years. It would be a terrible marriage to break up with. It's been it's over a decade now. There's no point in trying to find another writing partner. But we're working on the next thing. Lots of ideas. Haven't quite sort of executed yet, but hopefully we'll be coming up with something soon.
Just reiterate that, and we'd also just really love to work with as many of those actors as we can, but also the director Andrew. We felt like he just elevated so much from the script and just turned it from something that we were proud of, but sort of always felt maybe a bit kind of theatrical, and he just played such a big role in like pulling it off the page and giving it dynamism and energy and structure. And yeah, so we hope to work with him again.
I'll tell you, Andrew has such an eye for not only comedy, but how to turn that comedy into horror and that feeling of claustrophobic paranoia. He really does know how to aim his camera.
Yeah, I think he was very clear with the sort of cinematographer about making all the shot choices feel like you were in my head at all times. I think they did that really well. The way that it was filmed, you were never allowed out of Pete's inner perception.
Well, again, I want to say thank you so much for your time today. This is such a fun movie. Again, Tribeca is no slouchy little film festival. You guys did such a great job in this, and I can't wait for people just to discover this film, because it is just a top-notch, not only thriller, but I mean, it's just hilarious too at the same time. So great balance.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you very, very much.
You guys have a wonderful day.
Cheers.
Great.
You too.
Thanks, Danny.